Well, tensions hit a boiling point this week in Kenya. Deadly protests broke out in opposition of a controversial plan to raise taxes in the Eastern African nation. Kenya's president denounced the violent demonstrations, but reversed the tax proposal days later. CBS News national security contributor Sam Vinograd joins us now for our weekly national security wrap-up. Sam, always good to have these conversations with you. Let's start there. What more can you tell us about the fallout from these protests?
Well, Lana, Kenya's parliament did pass a bill that would have raised taxes on key household staples like sugar, bread, and more. And in response to the parliament's moves, mass protests did break out in the capital of Nairobi. 23 people were killed and many more were injured. Now, the genesis for these tax increases were the fact that Kenya is a highly indebted nation. It desperately needs to generate money to pay back its debt obligations. It owes about $80 billion to international creditors like the World Bank and China, and the tax increases were intended to offset these payments. Now, Kenya's president did say he would not sign the tax bill into law following the protests and instead would embark on a period of consultation with key stakeholders while trying to trim government funding. That is unlikely to cover the revenue shortfall that the Kenyan government has. And so we are looking at a very uncertain economic future for Kenya and a potential debt default in the months ahead.
Well, let's talk about Bolivia now, because authorities there are making arrests after a failed military coup this week. Tell us more.
Well, President of Bolivia, President Arce, did survive a short-lived coup. It lasted about 3 hours in the country's capital of La Paz this week. The former army chief, General Zuniga, launched a coup, and military officers took over the main square in La Paz, Bolivia, and rammed a small tank into the presidential palace. Now, right before being arrested, General Zuniga did say that President Arce put him up to the coup to boost President Arce's popularity, a claim that President Arce vehemently denies. But it is a fact that President Arce's popularity has plummeted. The economy is in duress, and President Arce is locked in a bitter struggle with his predecessor, Evo Morales, ahead of a presidential election next year. The New York Times has estimated that Bolivia has suffered about 190 coups in its 200-year history, and this latest one was certainly a setback for Bolivia's democracy, even if it wasn't successful.
Sam, good to be talking about some other places in the globe that we don't always get to focus on, but we, of course, cannot neglect a conversation about those rising tensions between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Tell us where things stand at this point.
Well, the State Department issued an updated travel advisory to American citizens about Lebanon this week. The travel advisory asked Americans to reconsider travel to Lebanon overall and reminded Americans to not travel to southern Lebanon due to increased tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, which operates out of southern Lebanon. Now, the United States, back in October, after Hamas's terrorist attack against Israel, actually urged Americans to leave Lebanon overall. As you know, Lana, Israel and Hezbollah have been locked in a bitter fight for decades, but tensions have really reached new heights following the terrorist attack on October 7th. The U.S. has pre-positioned assets in the Mediterranean that could help with a mass evacuation of American citizens from Lebanon if the situation does not stabilize.
All right, Sam Vinograd, thank you.
Thanks.